Alright, this is Freestyle Friday number 2. Here we go. Starting to write, all I see is blocks like Tetris. Should I have kept the pen down? As I let my head drift, looks like I might regret this. Never mind, I cannot continue to pretend I could prevent it. So please listen while I vent this. After murdering this verse, I'll be serving a life sentence. Always been a prisoner of my head, now it'll be real life too. Some other rappers spit fake garbage I could see right through. Just tell the truth. You in it for the money or the art? If rhymes don't come from your heart, don't even bother to start. Describe your childhood. Was it crummy and dark or sunny in part? It's funny how a spark is all it takes to go off. Just take a bad experience that made you mad and furious, put the pain in your bars, show the world your scars, then aim and reach for the stars so we can claim what's ours. Alright, so that was Freestyle Friday number 2. Let me break it down a little bit. So I know last week for Freestyle Friday number 1, I said it was the most serious in terms of subject matter out of the verses that I written. I didn't realize until yesterday that I touch on a little bit of serious subject matter in this verse as well. But that's not what this whole verse is about too, as you can tell from just hearing it. But let me break it down. So I start off the verse saying, starting to write, all I see is blocks like Tetris. For those of you who know what Tetris is, there's obviously blocks in it. That's like the main part of the game, or like the only part of the game really. And it's basically, in my verse, a metaphor for writer's block. Like when I start to write something, all I see is blocks like Tetris. And it actually, I heard Tetris used in another rap song by Drake, actually, when he said, "You could never get this. I built it up from nothing. You would think I was playing Tetris." So I threw Tetris in there just as a metaphor for writer's block. And just as a side note, I do want to try to add more like pop culture references or proper nouns, whether that be celebrities, or like just products, video games. That would be cool to put in verses because that would give me something else to rhyme off of. And I see a lot of rappers do that where they throw in like proper nouns in their rhymes to help them rhyme words and stuff. So I know I need to start doing that more often. Or I don't need to, but it would help me. So anyway, that's the Tetris line. And basically through the first few lines of this verse, I'm basically just doubting myself. Like I say, looks like I might regret this, not knowing where the verse is going to go and just trying to put words together so that they can rhyme. But then in the 5th line, I think it's the 5th line, I say, after murdering this verse, I'll be serving a life sentence. Meaning, that's another metaphor. So if you murder someone in real life, you're going to be serving a life sentence. You're going to be in jail for life. I'm using it as a metaphor saying I'm murdering the verse, meaning I'm doing great on the verse. And so I'm going to have to serve a life sentence for murdering the verse. That's what the metaphor means. The next line builds directly off that. I say, always been a prisoner of my head. Now it'll be real life too. Just talking about how I let myself get the best of me sometimes and I drive myself crazy and I don't always like my mind sometimes. Like I'm a prisoner of my mind sometimes. And I'm saying now it'll be real life too if I do have to serve this life sentence, again, for murdering the verse as like a metaphor. The next part of the verse is me kind of calling out certain rappers who do rap or music or whatever for money and not doing it for art. Last week I was talking about putting myself in someone else's shoes and, trying to understand that people go through hardships and respecting those people who are able to put their hardships into their music and talk about those things. And what I'm saying in this verse in the second part is regardless of how you grow up, if you were spoiled and you grew up in like a mansion, with everything in your life going great, or you grew up with like really messed up childhood events, regardless of which one you grow up in, if you're going to be making music and, art, do it for the art and not for money. If money happens to come out of that, great. But I'm basically saying, like, if you're doing it for the money, you're going to be exposed. Like, people can see right through it. And that's kind of what I say with the verse. Like, just try to do it for the art. And then at the end of the verse, I'm not an expert when it comes to telling people how to express themselves necessarily, but at the end of the verse, I'm trying to say, as like a little bit of guidance, take a bad experience that made you mad and furious. Show the world your scars, put them into your bars. Bars meaning rhymes. For those who don't know rap music, bars means like your rhymes. So when someone says you got bars, that means you got rhymes. Like, can you rhyme and rap and stuff? So I say show the world your scars, then put them into your bars. Then aim for the stars so we can claim what's ours. So just kind of telling people, like, that's a way that you can express yourself and tell your story. And then people will realize, hey, this person's a genuine person who's making music or rapping for the sake of the art, not for the sake of money. So that's kind of what this verse means to me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for next Friday, February 23rd, for Freestyle Friday number 3. And yeah, that's it. I hope everyone out there is doing well. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great month. Have a great year. Have a great life. And yeah, that's it. Peace.